It begins in silence, not with a scream, but a shift. A 7-year-old learning, not through words, but through absence. A glance into the eyes of a parent who isn't really there, lost in addiction, anger, or apathy. And something ancient stirs. If I don't hold everything together, no one will. This is not the story of a child who vanished physically, but of one who disappeared emotionally, while smiling, pleasing, adapting. This is how a child becomes a caretaker before they even know how to care for themselves.
You're so mature. You're so responsible. You're so strong. The world applauds the child who makes life easier for everyone else. But no one asks, at what cost? Praise becomes a disguise. Strength becomes an armor. And the child forgets they were ever allowed to just be a child.
What looks like maturity is often hypervigilance. A child who learns to scan every room for danger, mood, and tone, who learns that love is conditional, that peace must be earned, that their needs are dangerous, but everyone else's are urgent. And so they vanish, replaced by a version of themselves that survives, performs, adapts, but never rests. You become the helper, the fixer, the listener. You become so good at surviving that even you forget you're pretending. But deep down, something aches. A silent scream from the part of you that never got to be seen, held, or protected. The child is still inside, waiting.
The patterns don't vanish with age. You overachieve to feel worthy. You push people away but secretly crave closeness. You call yourself independent, but it's fear disguised as pride. What saved you then is now silently suffocating you.
Healing doesn't start with fixing. It starts with witnessing, with allowing yourself to finally feel what you buried, the birthdays no one celebrated, the tears you hid, the rage you weren't allowed to express. This isn't weakness. This is the body saying, "I'm ready now." Your coping was intelligence, not a flaw. The child sacrificed authenticity for belonging because connection was survival. But now you're grown, and you have something the child didn't: choice.
You don't need to be strong anymore. You don't need to perform to deserve love. Let the child come home. Let them rest. Let them play. You are not broken. You are becoming whole. Finally, growing up the right way, through truth, softness, and self-compassion.
What you've just heard isn't just a story. It's a case study in developmental trauma. In psychology, this is called parentification, when a child is forced to become the emotional caregiver of the very people meant to protect them. This reversal rewires the brain. It creates a nervous system that reads safety as danger and chaos as normal. It leads to hyper-independence, emotional suppression, and a deeply internalized belief: my worth comes from how well I can manage others. The adult who came from this childhood may look high-functioning, but inside, there's often anxiety, numbness, or a haunting sense of emptiness. This isn't weakness, it's adaptation. It's what we call a frozen developmental stage, where the child never got to finish being a child. Healing means unfreezing, letting that child finish what they never got to start, feeling safe, seen, and allowed to just be. Not because it changes the past, but because it rewrites the present.